Good morning and welcome to another session of Coffee with Grant with Thomas. And Thomas, today we're going to go through the family pack and a number of other things, but let's kick off with the family pack. Fill us in.
Thank you, Grant. Yeah, it's always great to have a chat here. Today we're looking at a Quantum Silver family pack, and we really urge every family to have such a first aid pack at home. And as we go through the different items and how useful they are, you will understand what a huge benefit this is to each and every family. So let's just start with the overall picture, and I'll show you what this pack entails. Right, so let's have a look what the Quantum Silver Family First Aid Pack entails. Why is it important to have such a pack at home and in every home? First of all, because most conditions or infections or wounds can be treated at home at a very low cost. The second reason is that the sooner you start treating a condition correctly, the faster the recovery. So if, for example, your child wakes up at night and has got a fever and feels sick, if you can start treatment immediately, that child will already feel better by the next day, instead of the next morning only starting to making appointments, seeing a doctor, and then hopefully getting some treatment that will help later on. So the quicker you start, the quicker the recovery. And then obviously if there are medical emergencies, it's also critical to start treatment immediately if there's any bleeding or bruising or whatever the condition may be. Another reason is that it can save you doctor visits, which are time away from work. We have to take time off, or children missing school, whatever the situation is, and can save you a lot of money. And most conditions are easy to treat with a bit of common sense that is applicable as we go through the different items and conditions that can be treated very easily. So this is just a picture of what we call the Quantum Silver Family Pack, and we will handle each of those items individually and what they're used for, and you will see how easy it is for any member of the family to help you in certain conditions. But the first one is the bottle with the 500 milliliter solution. Now the standard usage of that is to drink of it 50 milliliter for an adult, and we regard anyone older than 12 years to take the adult dose 2 times daily. And that would be done for any infection. So if a person has got a cough or has got a fever or just feels sick, maybe a diarrhea, a skin condition, for that we would recommend drinking 50 ml twice a day for a minimum of 5 days, depending on what the person has. In case of children between 5 and 12 years of age, half of that dose is more than sufficient, also 2 times daily. And if a person feels they would love to take this product as a preventative measure, if they are exposed to lots of people, maybe working in environments where there are lots of sick people, or they have got secondary infections that they're battling with, taking maybe chronic medication, and they want to prevent themselves or reduce the chance of getting sick themselves, then they just take it as a tonic of 50 ml once daily, ongoing. And one can take that for a couple of months at a time without any negative side effects. So here we've got a product that is extremely versatile because it kills any viruses, bacteria that cause a disease, or fungi. And for any one of those, you use the same treatment, 50 ml twice a day, very easy to administer and to take. The best response we get if you take it half an hour before a meal, but that is not an absolute. You can also take it half an hour after a meal for optimal absorption. The second one that we're looking at, we've got Quantum Silver also in a capsule form, and the dose of 1 capsule is the equivalent of 50 milliliters of the solution. Some people just prefer drinking a capsule. Other people prefer drinking a solution, then they don't have to swallow a capsule. So we use the capsule for exactly the same conditions as the liquid. Any infection, any fever, just feeling sick, feeling the beginning of flu, the quicker you start with that, the better. The capsules are also very handy for traveling or flying because of the small compact volume. So it is easy to carry them along, easy to take them to work, or just keep them in your car if you're a traveler and you spend a lot of time away from home. And as I said, the active ingredient is exactly the same. One capsule equals 50 milliliter of solution. The next one that we have is the nasal spray, and that is a product that we apply for any person who battles with a blocked nose, allergies that come, sinusitis, and very often there's secondary infection with the sinusitis, or a congested nose, just can't breathe properly through that. So the treatment is to use 2 puffs of the spray into each nostril, and do that at least 3 or 4 times a day. The more often you do it in the first day or 2, the quicker the response will be and the quicker the healing will come in. We must remember this quantum silver acts as an antimicrobial. In other words, it will kill the virus or the bacteria causing the blocked nose or the sinusitis, but the body might still need an extra day or 2 to heal itself. In other words, there's no more infection, but the consequences of that infection is the swelling, the congestion, etc. That needs a bit of time to heal properly. And so it's good just to carry on with the treatment while the body is busy repairing and healing all the tissues till it is restored to its full functionality. Then we've got a quantum silver eye or eardrop. That's a small bottle, and that we use for any infection of the eye or the ear. You could maybe have just eyes that are irritated, that are burning, that show symptoms of allergies and are quite wet. It is very effective against pink eye, or people that do a lot of welding with arc eyes. I've had quite a number of people phoning me and said they had terrible arc eyes. Their eyes are very sore after being exposed to this bright light at welding. So they put in the drops at night, go to sleep. Next morning they feel better. Maybe just add another 2 drops in the morning. And the same is with ear infections. If the ears are very painful, hurting, and you presume there could be an ear infection, then it's good to treat the ear with 2 drops of the quantum silver into that affected ear. For eyes, we recommend that even if only one eye is infected, say with pink eye or some foreign body that came into the eye, rather treat both eyes. Because as you rub the one eye and maybe just relieve it of a bit of pain, whatever's on your fingers might also contaminate the other eye. So while one is infected, treat both eyes, and then your chances of being totally healed in a short time are so good. This quantum silver, I just want to remind you of how safe it is, even for babies. So if your baby's got an eye infection, just drop 1 drop of the quantum silver into each eye, and you'll be surprised how quickly they recover from that. The normal cleaning of an eye, etc., obviously also applies, but these drops should be applied at least 3 times a day for fast recovery. The next product in your first aid kit is the 125 ml spray bottle. Now, this spray bottle is very handy to use for any skin wounds or infections. For example, if you've got ringworm or you suspect ringworm. In cases of acne, you can, after washing your face and the affected area, just spray the whole face liberally with the spray. Wet it properly. Because it's water-based, it'll dry very quickly. But that's how you get the best effect out of it. And then if a person has got symptoms of shingles, these blisters and the red area on the chest or on the back or even on the face, spray that affected area with the spray and also wet it properly, and do that at least 3 times a day. The more you treat it, the quicker the healing sets in. And remember, whatever you treat, as soon as the symptoms are gone, carry on treating for another 2 or 3 days afterwards to prevent recurrence. And now we're getting into summer. A sunburn happens very easily, especially if you don't expect it. The children play on the beach and it's an overcast day. Even if you put in some sunscreen, they could still come back and have sunburn, or sunburn in the face, or wherever. This quantum silver has proved itself how effective it is. As soon as that person you see sunburn and redness of the skin, spray the quantum silver on it also liberally. The whole skin is properly wet. That pain will go away within a short time. And we've had many cases that have told us that they do not even peel when they apply the quantum silver. Now there again, it's not a once-off treatment. In case of sunburn, apply it, do it maybe an hour later, and then 3 times more during the day. And that will make a huge difference, relieving the pain and also preventing any peeling of the skin later on. So very, very handy product. Any wounds, if they're open wounds, clean the wounds and then spray this quantum silver spray onto that wound before you put on the bandage or you cover that wound with a plaster. And that healing will just be stimulated and happen so much quicker, and also with a lot of less scarring than would occur without the quantum silver. Then our gel, a very popular product also. The gel contains our active ingredient of quantum silver. And what is special about this gel is that it is water-based. If you apply it to the skin, it dries within 5 minutes, and you won't see that you actually applied any gel to that skin area. So it dries very quickly, it's not oily, and it doesn't show afterwards. So this gel is very handy also again for any skin wounds or infection. The question is, when do you use the gel and when do you use the spray? Now that's really up to you. If, for example, a person suffers from a burn wound and it's very, very painful, then it is hurting too much to apply the gel and rub it onto that wound. So in that case, one would use the spray. If, however, it is not that painful and you want to bandage a wound or treat a person that, say, fell off its bicycle or tripped and hurt itself and is bleeding, clean that wound properly and then apply the gel liberally on those areas. You'll see that the bleeding will stop immediately, and also it'll dry up, so you won't even see that the gel was applied. And repeat that a couple of times and healing will set in pretty quickly. Within a few days, that wound will heal. If it is a chronic wound, for example, in a case where a person suffers from diabetes and they've been battling with a wound for a long time, this treatment of the wound will also need many weeks to totally heal. You'll probably see the first symptoms of new tissue forming and new skin forming within a few days, maybe within a week or 2. But you've got to keep on applying the gel till it is totally healed and recovery has taken place. In case of ladies or girls suffering from vaginal irritation or maybe even an infection, this gel is very safe to apply on the inside of the vagina, just with a clean finger, and healing will take place. If there's thrush or whatever fungal overgrowth, that will be killed by the gel and healing will take place and restoration to normality. Then warts. Warts are very common and they are caused by a pox virus that lives in the skin of a person. And because of the nature of a wart, there's not very good blood circulation, and that's why it's not so easy to treat a wart. But I have had numerous testimonies of people who treated their warts with our Quantum Silver gel, and they apply it regularly, also at least 2 to 4 times every day for a week or two, and they will see that the wart starts healing, and most of them actually disappear. In case of acne, the gel is very handy. After washing the face, to apply that, and please have a look at one of our presentations where we really focus on the treatment and management of acne for the best results. We also sell a lot of gel to people for hemorrhoids. This has proven itself to be a very effective treatment for that. So clean the area properly with a wet cloth, and then apply this quantum gel liberally to the anal area, and that will help the healing to set in pretty quickly. There again, do it after a few days, apply it minimum twice daily, and you will see that the healing takes place and everything is back to normal again. Now, what a wonderful product. Very versatile. The next one that we have is what we call Quantum Silver Gut Health Capsules. Now, these capsules contain mainly probiotics, which are live bacteria, to reset the normal function of your gut health and also your immune system, because these bacteria actually produce immunity and prevent you from getting sick if your gut health is normal. It also contains smaller amounts of silver to kill off any possible infections that they may. So when do you use them? Any possibility where a person's got an upset stomach, maybe a diarrhea, or where they're vomiting, to restore the balance of the natural bacteria. That's why we use these gut health capsules. If a person suffers from bloating or irritable bowel syndrome, if that is just ongoing, maybe the allergies to certain foods, you haven't quite worked out what you are allergic to, then it's a good idea to drink these gut health capsules daily for at least a week or two to restore that normality and let your body take over its normal function and to be able to digest your food properly. If you have been on the course of antibiotics for a week or longer, very often your natural bacteria in the gut have also been killed, and to help restore that back to normality, it's a good idea to take these capsules. Or in case of indigestion, if you just don't feel well, they will also help with that. Because the probiotics, as you ingest them, they multiply in the gut and they develop into thousands of them that produce extra enzymes for digestion and also help with immunity. So how much to take? Initially, we say 1 capsule twice a day for a minimum of 3 to 5 days. And then after that, only take 1 daily for another 3 or 5 days. This product is also safe for children. So young children can even take 1 of these capsules a day. If they battle to drink a capsule, you're welcome to put the capsule into a glass of water, maybe just 200 milliliters of water, and wait for it to dissolve, and then you can drink it that way. So just in summary, these products, we've gone through them one by one, and we've seen how easy it is to apply, what a huge variety of conditions can be treated with it. So the package that will deal with probably 90% of any conditions that we occur in a normal household. It is so easy to apply, and as I've said in the beginning, the quicker you start treatment, the faster the patient responds and recovers. This Quantum Silver, because of its nature and how it's produced, is extremely potent. The reaction is very fast and people and they recover very quickly. It covers any microbial infection, and that's why you do not need a early diagnosis. Was it the virus? Was it the bacteria? Was it the fungus? Because this will kill all of those if they aren't supposed to be in your body. Then what is critical is that you know that this product is extremely safe. There's no interaction with other medications. So if you are on chronic medication for blood pressure, for diabetes, antidepressants, whatever condition you might suffer from, you can take the quantum solver together with your chronic medication, as there will be no interaction. And then it will save you a lot of money and time. So there's a picture of the pack again. And to order a pack, just visit our website and go to the online store. There you can shop it. And if you order now, we will give you free shipping for your first aid family pack. And any more conditions, please have a look at our other clips that we've put on the website, so you get more detailed information about specific conditions. And thank you for that. Grant, thank you for that. I think that gives a very nice overall idea of how handy this pack is. You only need a few products and that cover just about anything that could go wrong in a household.
It's one of the smallest medicine chests you'll ever have, I think, that can apply to so many different things.
Yeah, that is very true. It is so versatile. I mean, many of us might have grown up just with a bottle of castor oil and some Disprins, and that had to cover for most of the conditions. Whereas here we have a real product with modern technology, which is highly effective and very safe. It covers a multitude of conditions now.
So you can kind of use that as your model stock, and you just top it up accordingly.
Yeah.
And just order online.
The only thing that one could add to that, and every person can do that for themselves, is probably some elastoplast or bandages or whatever.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a very comprehensive pack.
Well, Thomas, I think you summed that up incredibly well, because I've been asked, and that's why I suggested that we did this. And, you know, if anybody wants to carry on watching it, the website is, in actual fact, it's www.q-health.co.za. And you can go online and order it anytime you want. And the web address is on the bottom of the screen. So, Thomas, thank you very much for joining me on Coffee with Grant again, and looking forward to the next session.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity.
Cheers,